Yes. Hooray, we're on air.
Yay!
Another. And now we wait. If you build it, they will come. It's waiting. I wonder if one of them is up me though. There we are. Let's see. Beautiful.
Oh no, I can't type in the live chat.
Why not?
I don't know. Okay, we're good. I can do it now.
Yay. What I wanted to do. Cool. Well, now I guess we'll find out if anyone's actually here to hang out with us or not.
Yay! Hopefully. I told the guy that I'm like talking to, and he was like, "Need me to come to the live chat?"
Yes, yes, we do. Also, who is this guy that you're talking to? This sounds interesting.
Oh my goodness, he's amazing.
Ooh.
His name is Jesse, and he's very, very nice.
That's awesome. How long have you guys?
Yeah. Well, we've known each other. We dated when I was like 14, and we've been like friends ever. So,
First love.
yeah.
That's very. That's awesome. If he wants to come hang out with us, he totally can.
I will tell him if he wants to. I know last time he was like having a blast looking up essay questions and stuff.
Yeah, we need him. He should be a co-host. He was so good at those questions. I've tried to come up with questions for this time and haven't done very well.
He's like, I haven't read the book, but I can pull up the Spark Notes. And I was like, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing too. We've got Goodreads reviews, random questions. I guess we'll find out what happens. Right. Well, what are some vaguely book-related things we can talk about? Have you ever been to France? That seems like
I yeah. I've been to Paris, which is in France.
that is correct. I have also been to Paris, which is in France. I have been no further
Yay!
into France than that, though.
Did you say you have or haven't been anywhere else in France?
No, just Paris.
Just, just Paris. Me too. When
But
did you go?
um, it would have been, I think, 2013. So, like 4 years ago now. 4 years?
Okay.
Is that
Cool.
4 years? 3 years? 4 years?
Yeah, I went in 2014, so right after.
Cool. How long were you there for?
Yeah.
Hey, we have friends.
Uh, yay, just like 3 days.
Pretty cool. What did you get to see?
We saw the Eiffel Tower, obviously, and we went to the Louvre, and we went to Versailles.
Oh, that all sounds very nice.
Yeah.
My mum and I went there together when we were because my auntie lives in Germany and she was getting married, so we went to Paris for like a week beforehand and then went to the wedding in Germany and hung
Oh,
out.
nice.
And it was really lovely. Like we made a really good traveling team. We were like getting on all the trains and things together and navigating our way to everything we wanted to see and trying to talk French to all the shopkeepers together. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's Jesse, by the way.
oh, hi Jesse. I'm gonna need your
Aw.
help, Jesse.
Yeah. So you were in Germany too?
Yeah, briefly. Um, just like in in the sort of like Bavaria area near Munich, I think.
Oh, that's where I lived.
Yeah, we didn't
Oh,
do any.
that's so
Oh, really?
cool. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, we didn't do anything touristy in Germany though, because we were just there for the wedding. So like just hanging out with family and seeing their hometown and things and watching people get married.
That's always fun.
It was pretty lovely. Honestly, like the best wedding I've ever been to. So not that I'm
Yeah.
biased.
So if you could go back to France, is there any places specifically that you'd want to go to?
Uh, I mean, yes, I guess so. Um, I feel like Provence is probably an obvious answer because everyone always talks about that as being like, you know, typical provincial life, and it sounds so romantic and storybook like. And also,
Mm-hmm.
we were so close to going, but we didn't quite make it. And I really want to go and see like Monet's house and gardens that are like
Uh-huh.
Paris. So I'd love to do
That would be cool.
that.
Oh, we have more people now.
We have
More
someone who
excited.
saw the mini TV series but hasn't read the book as well, so we're doing great. Yeah, I should have watched the
Yay.
mini series. That would have helped out. Actually, what was it like, person who saw the mini series? I don't actually know your real name. I only know your YouTube name. This is very sad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious as to whether it's worth watching the mini series.
Seems like it would be fun.
Jesse, you better be opening Spark Notes for us.
Oh my goodness.
The lag is always really fun. Now we have to wait for them to get to the point where I ask them the question.
Yeah. And then wait for the answers to come. Oh,
On it.
you're the best.
Good. I'm glad to hear
Oh man.
it take me all this time to find the thumbs up emoji. So that's nice. It'd be quicker for me to just do this, but
Oh.
where is it? There it is. If you could go back to France, where would you go? Not a
I'm not
very
gonna. I honestly am not really even sure about any other places in France. Like, I don't know what's there at all.
really.
But I mean, you kind of hear a lot about like the countryside. So I'd probably want to just go see some like smaller, like more rural areas, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to know so much more about France, and now I can't remember anything about it. So that's part of me. That's literally the extent of that anecdote. Oh yeah, when's our bunny read happening? Good question, Richard. Whenever you want. We're supposed to be buddy reading a classic together, and we got so far as
Oh,
a we both had a few classics on our TBR that we wanted to read, and that we wanted to read more classics. So we should buddy read a classic together. Now we haven't got any further than that. Good. January was a
yeah.
terrible reading month for me, so need to pick things up a bit in February.
Yeah, I've been not doing well reading.
I thought that it was
But
going
when
to be a good month because like holidays, Christmas, like holiday season. You'd think it would mean you get some time to relax and read and things, but no.
busy.
That's an excellent suggestion. We should go to Bordeaux and educate ourselves on wine. Then it doesn't matter
Yeah,
that.
I mean, no better place to learn, right? About wine, you might as well do it in France. I don't know where Bordeaux is, but you know.
I don't know where it is. I know that it exists and that it's the wine region. So
Oh,
that'll.
is Provence there too? Because in the book they were growing grapes in their yard.
I don't know. Let's research Provence.
Okay.
It is a geographical region of southeastern France, near Italy.
Helpful.
Yeah, very
Very
helpful. It's well known for, yeah, see, the thing that I knew about it is like the lavender fields. That's like the only thing I know about Provence. It's like every sort of painting you see of Provence has lots of lavender fields and things in it.
okay. I
Um,
see.
so lots of lavender. It also says pine forests, lavender fields, vineyards for wine, and olive groves. So just
Oh,
a lot of different things happening. That sounds really nice.
yeah.
I want to go there. Yes, Dijon mustard, correct. No, I
Oh my,
haven't been to any. Both Vanessa and I have only been to Paris in France. Did you go to the beach
yeah.
in France? I didn't go to the beach. I didn't make it to the beach. I'm assuming you didn't either.
No, just there's a river in France, but I don't think you want to swim in it or
I don't think
or
anyone.
maybe people, I don't know.
I don't know. More Google questions. People swim
I feel like
in.
I feel like when you talk about like Hemingway and like F. Scott Fitzgerald and all those guys that like wrote in Paris and stuff, don't they always talk about like going bathing or whatever?
There is actually an artificial beach in Paris on the river, but I didn't
Okay,
go when
I
I was
see.
there, and I don't think you're supposed to swim in the river.
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
No, it's like literally just for people to go and soak in the sunshine.
Okay. Oh
But
man.
look, here's an article that says that they're going to try and make the river fit for cleaning by 2024 for the
Ooh,
Olympics because they're trying to beat
okay.
24 Olympics. Interesting
That's,
stuff. Thank you, Google,
yeah.
for that information.
Well, London will ever try and do that with the Thames.
Yeah. Ooh, another book set in Provence. What was your favorite meal from the book?
Um, you know, they were eating some weird stuff. I wasn't really into it. They were eating like they kept eating lamb, and I was like, that's kind of sad. I don't want to eat lamb.
What? I want to eat
Yeah,
lamb. I love lamb.
yeah.
Um, I can't remember what was the one that I read.
Yeah, I can't remember any specific meals that sounded very good.
That's very sad for a book that's kind of about food. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
Then again, I listened to it on audio, so like maybe I just wasn't catching on to all of the details, you know?
Yeah, audiobook does really change like the way you kind of feel about a book, I've discovered.
Mhm.
The way people read it
Yeah,
can.
I
Uh,
agree.
am I going to the 2024 Olympics?
Ooh.
Ooh,
I mean, you got time to plan for it if you wanted to.
that would be awesome. That would be an excuse to
That
go
would
back
be.
to France, I guess.
We should just have like a booktube meetup at the 2024 Olympics in France.
Yes, deal. They do eat truffles. No,
Truffles like the mushrooms, like the
they're
chocolate ones.
like the underground mushroomy things that the pigs find. That's all my knowledge about truffles in one sentence.
I know pigs find them, right?
Correct. Yes, pigs find them and they're underground.
I would, yeah, I probably would like to try truffles. I mean, I like mushrooms, so I'm assuming they would be good, right?
They're supposed to be very gourmet. So, yeah,
All
I'm still
right.
going to find some meals here. I'm just like looking through meals from the Year in Provence. Booktube Olympics. We can hurdle over books and do reading sprints. Oh my gosh, we should do that.
What?
Not the
Reading
Booktube
sprints?
Olympics.
Oh my God, yes.
Someone should make that a thing, like for real.
That is amazing. Yeah. We should
If
definitely do
should find out if it's a thing, and then we should make it a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuinely like the best idea I've heard in a long time.
On-site medical specialized in paper cuts.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Reading sprints. Oh, I love it. Sure, if the inaugural BookTube Olympics is in Paris, I am totally down for that. Even if it's not, I'm still down for it.
Yeah. Oh man.
You could like do that and then make it like tour the world the way the Olympics do, but have like a different YouTube channel from a different country hosted. So then it would be like hosted in America by an American YouTuber, and then like hosted in the UK by a UK YouTuber, etc.
That would be amazing. That is so, yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
So
we have not announced the book for next month. And the reason for that is that the parcels for the people who are actually like subscribing to the parcels haven't arrived yet. So I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's watching who's waiting on a parcel. Sorry, that was Richard's statement. I will make an email, not an email. That's not what I was trying to say at all. A video. I will make a video later today so that it can go up. And then people who don't want spoilers can not watch the announcement video. And people who do want to know what the book is can find out.
Yeah. What kind of tea are you drinking?
I'm drinking rooibos and chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
It feels like it should be good, but I think this particular brand of tea is not very good. So I'm thinking I might need to make my own, make it better.
Oh. Well, I'm on board for you to make your own. Oh my goodness. Speaking of, I need to get some more tea from you. Do you have any like new flavors coming out?
Yes, I do. I just made like 3 new fairy tale teas, some new teas, and I'm about to try and make some Shakespeare teas for like February Valentine's month. So like Romeo and Juliet and some other ones.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I'm really excited about them. Some of the flavors are really nice. So
cool. I will be awaiting them.
Yes, we are taking this idea to a whole new level. Richard, you have inspired us. You are our Olympic muse. And the rabbit is very good. We're all moved into our new home now. I'm going to try and talk and show you guys this photo because it's pretty cute. So I've moved into my new house with some friends, and Lola is now living in the laundry, and this is what she does all day. I don't know if you can see it properly, but she's hanging out. There's a baby gate across the door, and she just stands there and like stares out at the world from her little hidey hole in the laundry the whole time.
That is so cute. Oh, I love her.
The laundry is right beside like the door to the backyard, so she literally just stands there and like stares out at the garden and like contemplates her escape to freedom.
Oh no.
We can start then bitter at the end. I guess so. I'm not going to give away these flavors yet. You'll have to buy it and see. There are some who would probably try and debate that Romeo and Juliet isn't that sweet at any point all the way through. People seem to hate it a lot nowadays.
I mean, it doesn't translate well to like a modern day romance, you know?
It doesn't, but I don't think that kind of, what's the word? Diminishes.
Yeah. So like story.
Anyway, I'm gonna take my hair out again. We're not supposed to be talking about Shakespeare. We're supposed to be talking about A Year in Provence. Much better at talking about Shakespeare, though.
Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe we can talk about Shakespeare next month, seeing as next month is Valentine's month.
Ooh. Yeah.
I had a question, even though I haven't read all of the book. And no, my Pottermore Patronus actually isn't a rabbit. I've forgotten what it is. I think it's a horse. I was really disappointed. I'm gonna start
Oh,
a Pottermore account and try again.
delete it and start over.
Really annoying that you can't do any of that again. Like
Yeah,
retake this.
mine has me in Ravenclaw, and I'm like not in Ravenclaw, so.
Yeah, I actually suspect that if I took the quiz again, I wouldn't be a Ravenclaw anymore, which is why I want to start again and see what happens.
Hmm.
And it is annoying that you can't retake it because like people change, so you're not going to be the same thing forever. And it's annoying that you can't reflect that on Pottermore.
I agree.
Richard Reeds has never read any Shakespeare. Something for us to discuss next month.
Oh man.
Okay, one more Shakespeare related thing before we get back to what we're supposed to be talking about. There's actually in Melbourne at the moment, in like the Melbourne Botanical Gardens, they've built a replica of the Globe Theatre for people to go to see like reenactments of the Shakespeare plays, which I think is
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah. They've got like
Go.
one with like the outdoor areas and like the peasant section at the front and everything, and like it's been running for all of summer. And I keep meaning to go and see a play there because I think that would be awesome.
That sounds really cool.
Right? Like original Shakespeare. Maybe I'll have to do that and report back to you. Anyway, how do you feel about the wife's plan to force the builder's timeline?
I didn't get that far in the book yet, but I read the Spark Notes. And it's like a really genius plan. So basically, like the builders were taking too long to renovate the house and they were like just goofing off and like not finishing the job, right?
Yep.
So the wife decides to invite all of the builders and their wives to a party at the house so that if it's not done being renovated, that's embarrassing for them. So
Ah,
they have to up and finish building the house. I thought it was very cool.
I
Props to her for coming up with that.
I like that. That's like getting things done to a timeline, but not being like over the top controlling about
Yeah.
it or something.
Yeah.
Like
It was
sneaky.
very slick, very cunning and sly.
Yeah. More questions. No more Shakespeare.
Do you surf?
Do I
Do you?
surf? No, I don't surf. I have taken surfing lessons in the past, but I don't. I'm not a surfer. I don't do anything.
Oh, do you live like by or I don't know anything about Australian geography.
Okay, so I live in Melbourne, which is one of the main cities of Australia and is like a bay city, so it's on the ocean, down south. So you can go surfing near Melbourne. You wouldn't go surfing in Melbourne because like the beaches around Melbourne are filled with, like freight boats and, cargo ships and things doing their factories.
Okay.
But you can surf in the area. But I don't like swimming anywhere near here because the water is like just directly up from the Antarctic. So it's like cold. It's icy. Even in the middle of summer, the water is absolutely freezing because it's literally just like ocean currents coming straight up from the south. And I'm not particularly
That
interested in
sounds hard.
swimming in
I
cold
probably
water.
wouldn't be swimming. Oh.
So I seem like a total prude because like everyone's like, let's go to the beach. Don't you want to go in the water? And I'm like, no, I really don't.
Aw, jeez. I would be in your area, is that where they have all the like crazy jellyfish and stuff? I don't know. I always hear about like Australia, the
That's
really poisonous.
that's more Queensland area that has the crazy jellyfish. There are some jellyfish in the area, but like pretty much everything that you hear about to do with the ocean is going to be Queensland, which is like northern Australia, and I'm on the opposite side.
Okay.
So like everything you hear about like sharks, everything you hear about jellyfish and like crocodiles, like all of that kind of horror stories, they're all Queensland. That's where all that.
Okay. So you're safe. I don't have to worry about like a mutant, I don't know, shark spider coming to eat you or something.
Do you have to worry about spiders, but not mutant shark spiders. You're safe.
Okay, good.
Oh, Australia. Ah, good question. If you had to pick up and make the move and learn the language in any country like Peter and his wife did, what would it be and why?
I'd go back to Germany. I really like Germany.
Good choice. I don't know. Shark spider. Possibly, like honestly, France would be up there for me because French is what I learned in high school. So I feel like I'd stand more of a chance of being able to like actually learn the language if I went to France. But also Spain, because I've been trying to learn Spanish and I'd love the excuse to just like dive in and try and learn that. But also like maybe Ireland, which would be like the worst for trying to learn the language. But I'm obsessed with like all things Irish because there's some Irish in my heritage. So I would love to go there and try and learn Irish. But everyone speaks English there. So I'd have to force them to.
I've heard it's really pretty there too.
Yeah, very pretty. I tried to learn like Gaelic or whatever it is on Duolingo. And like I thought I was okay at learning languages because like I've studied linguistics for 4 years. So mostly I'm okay at like guessing how things are supposed to sound once I get the hang of like, you know, the sound structure of the language. But every single word I came across that I was trying to like guess how to say it before I listened to it, just completely wrong. Like I'd be like, oh, that combination of letters made this sound in the last word. Maybe it's that again. And it wasn't. It was just like it defied logic. So I had to give up.
That's how I felt trying to do French on Duolingo. I was like, oh, that's that word. And it was like, how do you even get that sound out of those letters? I don't know.
It reminds me of a quiz I saw on like BuzzFeed or something that was like, is this a Welsh word or just a random string of consonants?
Oh, true.
It's actually a lot harder than you would expect to get right because most of the Welsh words genuinely are random strings of consonants. Yeah. It's like I couldn't even get past the like basic pronouns of he and she did this and just it's too hard. Oh, barely speak any German now. But you pick it up. You would pick it up very quickly if you went back, I'm sure.
I would hope so. Yeah. Well, I have Duolingo, and you said you were going to learn it with me, so maybe German will be the language we pick.
Good plan. Good plan. I've got a mini club of people learning Spanish on Duolingo together, which is kind of cool. From BookTube, like booktubers who are learning Spanish together.
Oh my gosh, I want to join that. Can I join that?
Yes, of course you can. You want to learn Spanish with us?
I live like right on the border of Mexico and I don't speak any Spanish and I feel so useless all the time.
That's crazy. You should definitely learn some Spanish then.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the book. What was your favorite month in the book? Because I know that all of the chapters were months.
Yeah. I don't remember because like the audiobook doesn't say when it's starting a new chapter. It just keeps talking. So
wow, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Should not have got the audiobook.
I mean, to be fair, maybe it did and I just didn't notice. I mean, I don't want to, give it a bad rap, but The springtime was really nice. There was a chapter where they find this like guy that lives, I guess like maybe a neighbor or something, and he's like knows a lot about like gardening and stuff like that, and he kind of helps them out. So I kind of like that chapter.
Love it.
I live in El Paso, Richard.
I knew that. Is that weird? No, it's not weird because I've sent you letters. Is that
Yeah.
weird?
No, I send people letters all the time.
I should send more letters. I actually have a whole list of people I'm supposed to send letters to that I haven't.
Oh yeah, are you still doing that like snail mail request line thing?
Yes, I am. I'm
That is
very excited about it. Actually, when I was moving and like unpacking all of my stuff again, I bought myself a desk. I didn't have a desk before, and now I have a desk. And I rediscovered the card that you sent me when we did our stationery exchange. That was like this time last year.
Yeah, that was so fun. Did you get my Spooktober stuff too? Because I sent it to an address that I had that I wasn't sure if it was right.
Oh, no, I haven't got anything, I don't think.
Okay, well maybe I'll call the post office and find out what happened to it.
Send me a message and let me know what address you sent it to because I don't know what's going on. I have like 4
Okay.
addresses that things are being sent to at the moment because of the move. So there's a chance that it's somewhere, but I haven't checked it yet.
It
Don't
was
panic.
either I
It's
can't
what?
remember I can't remember what I sent it to. It was either the address that was on the package that you sent me last year or the address that was on your
Wait,
like snail mail.
yeah, okay, that's fine. I haven't checked either of
Okay.
them, but so that was another thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, like the relationship with food and things in in like France and in the book versus like in our culture at least. And I didn't actually have a specific question. I just kind of wanted to raise that as a topic because I've always found like the concept of like the French relationship with food to be really fascinating. Like the
Yeah,
whole
it it seemed like meal times were like really important and sacred. And like they were serious about like it's dinner time and we're eating right now and that's that.
yeah, like there's no rushed meals or meals on the go. It's like you
Yeah.
actually take the time to sit down and eat a meal, and eating a meal
Yeah.
is and the
Yeah.
preparation.
And he said that like he got a phone call during dinner once and they were like so offended that anybody would be even like calling anyone during dinner time. Like that's
Right?
not a thing.
I've kind of like I wish that I had more of that attitude to food, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
concept of actually spending some time on what you're eating and like enjoying what you're eating because like I'm terrible with food and
Hmm.
what
I
else to
agree. I'm always like watching TV when I eat and like not really paying attention to what I'm eating.
exactly right what Jesse said about like the local farmers markets and eating seasonally as well. Like
Ooh.
I tried to do that for a while.
Hmm.
Because there are like there's a local markets actually very near to where I live now, and I used to like ride my bike there every Sunday and try and buy what I knew was in season to cook. But I think I lasted like 3 weeks, which was
Oh,
very sad. And I really want like I've literally that's been like my New Year's resolution for like the last 2 to 3 years has been to try and make that happen more because I don't know why, but I feel like it's a better way to live. I don't know. Do you feel like it's a better way to live? Is it just me?
no, I feel that way too. We have a farmers market in El Paso, but it's like downtown, and I don't like going downtown because like the parking situation is always weird, and I get stressed out. But I would really like love to go to the farmers market here. So you know,
Parking situations stress me out too. I totally understand. What's the native Aussie food like? We don't really have native Aussie food. Australia, we kind of just piggyback off everyone else.
well, Richard says kangaroo and shark spiders.
Shark spiders. Return of the shark spider. That was supposed to be a big secret, and I've given it away. Whoops. Um, yeah, I mean, you can eat kangaroo, but it's not a common thing, and I don't think it's even particularly legal to eat kangaroo. I don't think you're supposed to kill kangaroos. I could be wrong. I can't remember. I don't pay attention.
Huh. Interesting.
But like none of the like native Australian animals are like part
In
of
Germany,
cuisine. So
yeah.
like
In Germany, we had a restaurant that had like kangaroo burgers and like ostrich burgers and like antelope burgers or something like that. And I was like, where are you getting all of these
they
exotic
really
animals?
or did they just put chicken in it and say that it was kangaroo or like lamb?
I would kind of hope that it was chicken because
Yeah,
they weren't a very busy or popular restaurant. So I was like, how many kangaroos are dying to keep this fresh and in stock for the like one person a year that's gonna actually,
order it. That's
yeah.
do
Why
Aussies
did they?
chocolate covered grasshoppers? Not that I know of. If they do, I have missed out on that part of our culture.
Goodness.
And I'm not sure that I'm disappointed about that, to be honest.
In like Nevada, I don't know if it's a Nevada thing or just generally like a southwestern United States thing, but they put like scorpions and crickets and stuff like that inside lollipops.
Yeah, I
That's
have
weird to
heard
me. I
about
don't.
that. That's an odd one.
Yeah, creepy, I think.
Or like deep fried insects. I know that that can happen too.
Yeah. Ooh, that doesn't sound good at all.
Doesn't sound like it would be very tasty. But then again, the French eat
Yeah.
snails, and snails are actually tasty. So maybe I'm judging too soon.
I did like escargot, so yeah. I guess maybe we shouldn't knock it till we try eating a cricket for ourselves.
It might just taste like salt or something. Like escargot just tastes like butter.
Yeah.
Are there lots of Greek restaurants in Melbourne? Yes, there are actually. There's like a Greek section, mini Greece area. It's a good description. There's like a lot of everything in Melbourne, to be honest. It's one of the things that I really like about Melbourne, that there's lots of different areas with
It's
all
like a big
like a big melting pot of different cultures. We've got like
I,
Greek food, Lebanese food, Middle Eastern food, all of the different kinds of Asian food, like Vietnamese food, Chinese, Thai, Indian, Ethiopian. I don't know. Lots of
wow, I'm
stuff. Why did they import ground kangaroo? Good question. That's your question.
I really want to know because
Oh
the
no.
comment is funny. I comment agree.
Oh, you guys are just having your own conversation about importing ground. I see what's going on here. Jesse
Yeah.
and Jess are taking over the chat.
Oh man.
Yes,
Will
Australia does
Will
have too many wild rabbits. Sorry, go.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh well. Asked will the wall be built on El Paso border with Mexico? I hope not. I feel like that would be awkward because we're just right here and people come over all the time. Like,
Well,
I
that's
don't
why
know.
weird thing to be doing in general for anyone who actually lives close to the border. Like, what do you?
Yeah. Oh. Anyways, these rabbits. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
there's actually quite a bad wild rabbit problem in Australia. People in Queensland, as in like one of the states, can't have pet rabbits at all. Like they're not allowed to, in case of like escaped rabbits adding to the population.
Oh
And
my goodness.
they've for years they've been trying to like control the wild rabbit population with this disease that's called myxomatosis. and you're not allowed to vaccinate your pet rabbits against it in case it spreads immunity to the disease into the wild rabbit population. So there's just like rabbit killers hanging out there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. It's very scary for pet rabbit owners.
Oh.
Yes, I have. There's a lot of questions about Australia here for a conversation about a book about France. I actually played Aussie rules football for a year with my university. I joined like the university football team.
What is Aussie rules football?
It's like our Aussie sport. It was originally invented to keep cricketers fit during the off season because we used to be a cricket nation, and now we play AFL instead. And it involves like an oval-shaped football that you kick around a field and try and get between poles. I don't know how to explain. It's actually quite fun.
Oh my goodness. You should do a tutorial.
And tackling, like you're supposed to tackle each other to the ground to try and get the ball off people and things. I'm not explaining very well at all. It's because I don't really do it.
We demand DIY Aussie rules football video.
Okay, how to play Aussie rules football as explained by a bookworm. Sounds like what could possibly go wrong. It is actually really fun to watch, at least. I don't play anymore, obviously, because I don't do anything, and I don't know why I decided to play in the first place, but like going to games and things is actually quite fun. It's kind of like rugby, but with more running, and like the AFL players are actually really slender, like they're not actually very big build because of how like athletic it is, like running athleticness rather than like big bulky athleticness. I don't know if that makes sense, but like
yeah,
there's a lot more movement. There's not really that sort of sense of like standing in lines trying to defend things. Like you're doing a lot of getting around each other. I don't know. Flying balls.
I don't know anything about any sports, so you know.
I've done a terrible job of explaining this one sport, so yeah. I don't know. Would I? Or would I open my own bed and breakfast and welcome all of the tourists in with goats?
Yeah, the baby goat bed and breakfast.
Yeah. No. Just adding more details to our plan here.
Yes. Would you consider that local food, even if it's just a local favorite food stand, is part of truly experiencing a place? Yeah, for sure. Like,
yeah,
definitely.
And not just with food, but like other stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like living the low life. That actually reminds me of like the one main memory nowadays that I have of Kolkata in India is to do with food. So, like,
oh, really?
Yeah, there's like one of the main street foods in the area are these things called egg rolls, where they just have like stands where you could just buy these things that are called egg rolls, and they're not like Chinese egg rolls. They're basically like chicken wraps, but like the bread, like the flat bread that they use for the wrap, they also like attach it to an omelet somehow. So it's like an omelet bread chicken salad wrap, and it's like the most delicious thing I've ever had. I haven't had one since being in India, but like we were obsessed with them when we were there, just eating them all the time.
That's really good.
I found a recipe for them once, and I've been meaning to try and make them. Yeah, food is like a huge part of like the memories that you end up having of places, I think, especially if you are actually like trying to stay there for a long period of time rather than just like travel through for a couple of days.
Yeah. And even if it's not even like food native to that country, so like when we were in Germany, I didn't actually eat a lot of the like German food, but they have a lot of like gyro stands or donor stands, which is like not food, but it's just such a part of Germany because there's one on every single corner, and it's what everybody always gets to eat like when they're out at nighttime and stuff. So yeah.
Or like just the memories of the things that you crave that aren't anything to do with the food of the country. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever been more obsessed with peanut butter than when I was in India, even though I haven't peanut butter since. But like, I was like, I miss peanut butter more than anything else, more almost than my own family. But
Oh no. Oh.
what is your favorite food that is typically French? Oh no, Richard's going. Hooray! I mean,
Hi,
no.
Richard.
Hi, Richard. I'll let you know what the book is soon. I will. I'll make a video this time. I didn't make a video for this month, and I'm sorry.
Oh.
Have I told you? Oh, uh-oh. I did tell you what the book is, but I told you the wrong book. So let me fix that later.
Okay. Just tweet me or something.
My bad. What is your favorite food? It's typically French. I
What
actually
are some typical
like ratatouille, which I know is like not a particularly fancy food, but I actually make it a lot, which is basically just like vegetables. Basically, ratatouille is like literal peasant food. It's what all of the provincial farmers would have cooked, whereas where you like get a bunch of vegetables and like tomatoes and cook them together like a pasta sauce, but without pasta.
Oh, like leftover stew, basically.
Yeah,
Is
kind
what
of
I had as a
the floury part of the stew. Like it's less thick than stew, but it's basically like stew. It's like thicker than soup, but less thick than casserole. It's very easy to make.
Okay. I don't know what my are crepes French?
Yes,
Because I kind of like crepes.
I also
All
like.
right, that's my typically French food. But like dessert crepes, because I know that a lot of people like the I don't know, cheesy crepes with like meat and stuff. I
I like
just want a strawberry and whipped cream crepe. Did
salmon crepes. Are delicious though.
you say salmon? Like the
Yeah,
fish?
yeah.
Oh,
Salmon with like cream cheese and capers and like rocket or baby spinach in a crepe is delicious.
pretty good.
But also dessert crepes. Oh,
There are Roman ruins.
apparently, that wouldn't surprise me.
I didn't know that, but I would always be down to visit Roman ruins all the
I'd
time.
be down to visit Roman ruins anywhere, and I'd also be down to visit anywhere in France, whether it's Roman ruins or not.
Yeah.
Either. Either without the other or with each other, I don't mind.
Oh man.
What's your favorite season? This has nothing to do with the book at all, but
Well, kind of. I like. I know that's really typical, but like fall's the best. So.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love autumn. I think for me, I think honestly, I think Australians have it really lucky because for us, autumn is actually like we're going into autumn soon in the next couple of months, which means that like autumn is also Easter time, which means we get to eat like hot cross buns and
Oh,
have high tea and things for Easter. And I just feel like that's such a perfect
that is,
fit. It makes me really happy that we get to have like hot cross buns in autumn time. Easter.
yeah. Oh, cool.
Fall is fairly typical. I quite like spring as well sometimes. Like spring would probably be my second, but autumn is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, spring is nice too.
I just don't
Like
handle
when,
it very well or the cold. I just need it to be
yeah,
in.
yeah, just give us moderate temperate weather.
Yeah.
None of this harsh sunlight and snow.
No, exactly. No, that doesn't happen. I mean, I guess it does. Christmas at the beach. But honestly, the beach is never that great during summer.
Really?
The sand is the water is too cold.
Oh.
Oh, it's sad times. Yeah. No, we actually have someone who likes the heat in the chat. I'm impressed.
You're a trooper for sure.
Yeah.
I can't. If it's like above 85 outside, I don't even want to go check the mail. I don't want to like walk the dog. I don't want to do anything.
I don't know what 80 degrees is in Celsius, but I'm guessing that I don't want to leave the house either. You know, I might have to Google that.
Yeah,
Oh,
pale people don't do well.
26 degrees. Girl.
What? Wait, what?
80 degrees Fahrenheit is apparently 26 degrees Celsius.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what do you think of that temperature?
Well, for example, today is going to be 30 degrees Celsius, and that's a standard summer day for us. So
Okay.
26 is like moderate spring temperature for us here.
Yeah, it's not considered super hot here either, but like I hate it still. I want it to be cool.
I don't like summer. I'm definitely doing a lot of hiding inside.
Yeah.
Bessie, give us more questions. Oh, one thing that I did find out when I was researching stuff about this book is that the author actually died this month.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah, on like the 18th of January, he passed away.
That's
Which is
sad.
weirdly coincidental.
Yeah, very coincidental and still tragic.
Also sad.
I had never I had never heard of this book before you mentioned it.
Neither had I. But apparently it's like actually really popular.
Yeah, I was like looking online and it was like on all these lists and stuff, but
Yeah, it's like a sort of culture classic for like the reasons we've talked about with like the slowing down, kind of enjoying life and food and other things kind of culture.
Yeah.
I can totally understand. Someone in the like ongoing monthly chat we have was talking about like the sense of community and neighborhood in the book as well. And like just how awesome that is. Because like it's very hard to find that nowadays. I don't really have a sense of it at all.
Yeah, I live in an apartment building and I don't even know my neighbors. Like, who are they? No one knows. It's a mystery. We live literally in the same house and I've never spoken to them.
Yeah. No,
But when you
no problem. I've lived in all kinds of apartment buildings and never really got to know any of the people that I lived near. Every time I move to a new place, I'm like, this is the place where I'm going to meet the people and have neighbors and talk to them and things, and it never happens. It makes me very sad.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Jesse says he had people get creeped out that he talked to all his neighbors. Yeah, I feel like some people like take it the wrong way nowadays. Like they think it's weird.
I think that's really sad. Apparently, also, before he wrote A Year in Provence, our delightful author originally was a writer of sex education books for children.
Really? What?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Huh.
Bit of a leap. Yeah.
Yeah.
according to this article that I've read, he started his writing career by writing sex education books for children. And then they moved to France, obviously, and he was planning on writing a novel when he was there. But he kept getting distracted from writing the novel by all the things that were going on in their life, like all of the setbacks with trying to fix the house and everything. And he wrote to his agent and he was like, I'm so sorry, I haven't got anything more on the novel because this has happened and this has happened and like all of this stuff, and went into the whole saga of like what's been going on. And his agent was like, if you can get me 250 more pages like that, we'll probably have a book deal. And that's how he ended up writing A Year In Provence.
That is awesome. What a dream.
Yeah, that's really cool. What a life. He kind of looks a bit like Alan Rickman.
Did he? I'm gonna look up a picture of him.
At least the photo on the article that I'm reading now, he looks a little bit like Alan Rickman. See if you can find the New York Times article. That's the one I'm looking at.
I can see it in some of these pictures, yeah. Did he like keep living in Provence?
I don't know. I think so.
Because they did a lot of work. Like even just the first like 6 months that I read, it was like a lot of work, and I was kind of under the impression because it's called A Year in Provence. I was like, oh, are they gonna live there for a year? But then they were doing all these like renovations, and I was like, why are they doing all this if they're only gonna be there?
Yeah, no, I think their plan was to stay there. I don't know whether or not they did. But like it's the first year of them getting their shit together. I feel like we should watch the mini series. I feel like we were also supposed to watch Miss Congeniality.
Yes, is it still on Netflix? We should like set up a date.
Sure. I'm gonna look it up on Netflix right now. This is what we should do. We need to pick something to like watch along for the next month from our book. So Miss Congeniality was for the December one somehow, and the mini series of moments could be for this one.
Yeah.
Although now we're behind.
We just marathon it.
Let's have a look. I'll have to fit it in around my Gilmore Girls watching time. It is there. Oh,
yay!
Yes. You should definitely watch that.
All right.
Anytime.
All the time in the evenings for me, which is like morning time for you. So.
Well, if it's on like a Friday or Saturday evening for you, that'll work for me. Actually, at the moment, I'm unemployed, so anytime works for me.
Oh.
Now that I think about it.
Oh, man.
Yay! More positive than unemployed. Jessie.
What? What do you say?
How many people are still in the chat who know or who are actually like subscribed to the parcel? I don't think there's anyone here. I could be wrong. Right, I guess I can put a little spoiler warning and say it here. Especially seeing as I told you the wrong book, which is not very smart of me. I'm sorry. I told you the book for the month after that, for what it's worth. So you will have to find it eventually.
Okay.
Very mixed up. I keep forgetting that like the months are different. Like the book that we're about to read is the one that I've just been prepping and sending out, whereas I'm already thinking about the parcels for the next month instead of the book we're about to read. Anyway, okay. Here's a little spoiler warning for anyone who is actually subscribed to our parcel, because if you don't want to know what book you're about to receive, now would be the time to tune out. But the book for February, because it is a romantic Valentine's month, is Shakespeare's sonnets. So, yay. We're going to do poetry together. Gonna be wonderful.
I think I have those.
Talk about Shakespeare next month. See?
I'm excited. We read some of those in my English class. So I'm prepped a little bit.
Excellent. I'm actually kind of excited for this to see if I can get my poetry hat on
Mm-hmm.
with real poetry, not like Tumblr poetry.
Yeah, 2005 MySpace bulletin poetry.
Have I been to Tasmania? Yes, I have. My grandparents lived in Tasmania for most of my sort of teenage life, so I used to go there every year to visit them.
Oh, what is that place like? Is it a city too?
Tasmania is a state. It's an island.
Okay.
South of Australia. So like if you've got the Australian mainland, Tasmania is a little island at the bottom, which is its own state.
Okay.
And it's really pretty. Like it's very underrated. People should go there more often. It's like because it's so far south, like the summers are actually really nice and like calm and don't get over like 26 degrees, which is like 80 degrees, which is your cap temperature. And it's like very English style, like lots of nice little laneways and like hedges and green rolling hills. And then like there's the mountain ranges as well, which has got some snow and stuff for you to look at if you want.
That sounds really nice.
And then Hobart has like a massive, very well-known art gallery museum thing, which is called, I think it's called the Museum of Art. And like this really famous markets as well of like just like vintage markets, massive vintage markets that happen every Sunday or Saturday or something like that. So Tasmania, lovely. No, I don't know what any of those things are. Would Warm Bodies count as a Romeo and Juliet movie to watch along for next month? I don't know. What is that? It's weird that I haven't heard of that.
Warm Bodies?
Watch 10 Things I Hate About You. It's not Romeo and Juliet, but it's Shakespeare.
No,
Ooh,
I've been really.
it's vampires, is it? Zombies.
It's
Paranormal romantic zombie comedy film. That's a lot of work.
it's pretty funny. I liked it.
Love it. Beautiful. West Side Stories. I'm always up for West Side Story. Zombies. Yes, I've calmed on to the zombies.
I've been really craving to watch the Romeo and Juliet with Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's Lemon one. I'm down for that too. That's a gorgeous movie. That was very well done. And that soundtrack is like
Oh. Oh man. There's a lot of options for Shakespeare things to watch.
they sure are. We've already got 2 things to watch this month though. So I don't know how to make this work. There's going to be a lag on our movie watching. It's always going to be like the month after the book we read. Is that okay?
I think that's okay. Because then we can discuss it in the chat, you know? When we're
Yeah.
discussing.
Which one we're going to watch. Exactly. It sure is. Hi, Karen. Well, anyone have anything about our book to talk about, or are we still just going to talk about Shakespeare? I've tried so hard here. Did we talk about New Year's
just like
last month or not? I feel like I remember talking about it and then saying we should talk about it this month because our book was about year's stuff. I can't remember.
What was it?
We tried to talk about New Year's resolutions in last month's chat, and then we were like, maybe we should wait until next month, seeing as our January book was supposed to be our New Year's book. But I could be wrong.
Why is Jesse sorry? Why? He said, I tried, I'm sorry.
I think we're talking about, there's Shakespeare. Talking about Shakespeare again.
It's okay. It's not your fault that we like Shakespeare more than France.
Apparently. I actually really like France. I don't understand why we're struggling so much to talk about it.
Well, did you have any New Year's resolutions?
I have so many New Year's resolutions. I'm one of those people who goes nuts on New Year's resolutions. And one of my New Year's resolutions is to try and shop at my local markets more so I can have more localized food.
Nice.
That fits in with the book a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of reading resolutions. My main life ones are, yeah, to try and shop at the markets more and eat more seasonal foods. And
Mm-hmm.
also this year, one of my sort of, it's not really a countable resolution, but one of my main resolutions is to try and not hold myself back from talking to people that I want to talk to or make friends with.
Oh, that's a good
One of my main issues is like seeing people that I really like and want to be friends with and then just like not talking to them because I'm scared that they're gonna, not be interested in talking to me.
I do that too. And then I get like resentful because I'm like, why aren't they my friend? And it's like, but I didn't do anything.
Exactly. So this year is the year that I'm stopping that by just like, if I feel like I want to talk to someone, I'm going to send them a message and just be like, hey, sup? Want
Yay.
to talk to me? Going.
That's a good one. I'm glad you're going to do that.
Everyone should do that. Be a project for the year. So far, it's had mixed results. I did try and talk to one person. I was like, hey, I kind of feel like, well, in my head, I was like, this is someone that I thought I might want to be friends with or try and be friends with. And I just like a very, not rude, but just like one of those messages that just like shuts down the conversation. Like, just like brought the conversation to a grinding halt. I was like, well, that was a good start to my resolution here. That was a good confidence booster for the year. I need to work harder at that. Yay.
Yep. I
What,
want to
yeah.
do better at keeping in touch with my friends that I don't keep in touch with very often, even though I love them and they're like my best friends. I sometimes go like months without talking to them. And then I'm like, gee, I wonder why they're not my best friends anymore.
I know, I understand that pain.
Yeah.
That's a good resolution too. It matches very well with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Also, writing more letters. I should write more letters.
Writing letters is fun. That should just be a thing that people do more in general, I feel like.
If only it wasn't so expensive to send letters from Australia. It would be less expensive if more people did it though. So, gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And learning Spanish on Duolingo. Oh, why wouldn't
That's a good,
people want to talk to me? Good question.
yeah, good question. I don't get that.
You tell them. Well, don't. It's all right. I have you guys to talk to. I am very grateful and satisfied for that.
Yep.
Well, then, we've done a
Which
pretty good
French
job.
character do I
Sorry.
remember most from the book? Um, I don't. I'm so bad with names, especially on audio, because if I can't see them written out, then like I don't remember their name. But I liked their neighbor that they like. Um, I don't know. They like found him living in this little like shack house thing, and he's like, "Oh, I'm your neighbor. I live here." And he was a cool character. I liked him.
Ooh, I like that one. Do you think covering a year of a specific chosen transition or resolution in a journal be more of a lessons learned or a journey of success? Well, I mean, you wouldn't know until the end of the year, I guess.
Yeah, it would depend.
Whatever it is you're trying to do. I think it would probably
Yeah,
be a mixture of both, and then like maybe one would win out over the other, depending on whether you achieved what you wanted to achieve or whether you learnt along the way that you needed to do something slightly different
yeah.
instead.
I used to track like I had a habit tracker where every day it was like these are things that I want to get in the habit of doing every day, and I'd
Yeah.
like check off if I did them or not. And I feel like that it was a mixture of both, because sometimes I'd look back and be like, wow, I did all of those things every day. That was so good. And then sometimes I'd look back and it would just be like a completely blank page and I'd feel really shitty.
I had the problem of like the actual tracking of the habits was a habit that I needed to get into in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, like I just never remembered to do it. So I need to figure out a different plan for my life-changing attempts and keeping track of them. I think it's a really interesting idea though, what he did, like ending up just writing what happened to him. And the fact that that wasn't actually what he originally intended to do, but it turned out so well for them.
Yeah. I think that's really cool too.
The actual story
Well,
of the story is a good moral story.
Yeah. Aww.
Yeah, right. I just never remember to track them. The worst.
I feel like if it was a game, that would be, because I had an app on my phone for like drinking water. It's called Plant Nanny. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it's like every time you drink a glass of water, you like water your plant in the app, and
Yeah.
if you don't, then like your plants die, and it's sad. And I feel like it helped me a lot.
It sounds very similar to like the productivity app that I've tried to use called Forest, where like you set a timer to like not be on your phone for a certain period of time to do stuff. And if you successfully do that, then you like plant a tree. And if you don't, then the tree dies.
Oh, that is motivating. I don't want to kill a tree.
I'm gonna try and use it for my studies this year. To actually, we'll see how that goes. It's getting warm. All right.
Well,
Well,
anything else?
I think we've stretched out our conversation of France and Shakespeare as much as we can.
Yeah.
I should get going. I have to visit my family.
Alrighty.
We'll eat a French meal.
Well, you're what?
Maybe we'll eat a French meal together.
You should, definitely.
Okay, my lovelies. We'll see you next month to talk about Shakespeare, and I'll try and use the Twitter account for this thing throughout the month to keep you updated, and maybe we can do a watch along of A Year in Provence and or His Congeniality. And that would be awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Bye, everybody.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.